Bruce, can you hear me,
Dan,
mate?
how are you?
How are you, pal? It's been a
I'm
while,
good.
hey? It's
Yeah,
been a
it's been
little
a whole
bit.
year.
I can't see you,
More.
by the way. I can hear you. I can't see
Oh,
you.
wait, how come? Where am I? Oh, start video. Okay, here it is. That's one.
Hey, here we go. Hold on. Oh, hey, there he
There we
is.
go.
There he is. Bruce, it's an honor to have you
Yeah.
back, mate. How are you? We are
Hey.
live, by the way.
Oh, good. Where'd you go? I just clicked the screen and you disappeared. Wait.
You, you think after 2 years, 2 or 3 years with Zoom, that
Oh my
it'd
God.
get easier. Unfortunately,
And
not, eh?
nobody does it on Zoom anymore. Everybody does it on Instagram Live or something.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what just happened?
So what did you do? You've lost me.
Oh, there you are.
You got
Okay, I
me?
got you. Yeah.
Cool. How are you, mate? It's been a while. Funnily
I
enough,
know.
I
And we're
told you.
still in this damn pandemic.
I know, I know. The funny thing is, the the last time I had you on was the first guest I ever had on. You were the first guest I
Yeah.
ever had on this show, and now, 80 guests later, here we
That's
are again.
crazy. Congratulations. I love it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for coming on that time. I was a bit green back then, so
You're a bit green right now. You got a whole green background behind you.
shh, no one knows that except you.
Oh
Uh,
gosh, I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. How have you been this last
Where
year,
do they
mate?
think you are today?
Uh, you'll have to check out the last show. I'm in my Jimmy Fallon setup
Oh,
in the
nice.
studio.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got a nice talk show desk and everything?
exactly. Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect.
I'll send you a screenshot after. How have you been, mate? It's been a year. How have things been?
Yeah. Well, things are fine. Things are going well. Well, I've got more things cooking and that I can't talk about, of course. Um, God, this business.
This
Yeah.
business,
There's a couple of big ones, one next year and then one couple of years away yet, but that's all I can say.
and I'm gonna be happy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think so. I don't know. Who knows? I know I'm happy working on them.
Well, today we're here for Halo Infinite. Last time we
Yeah.
were here for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Um, I'll just before I get into the Halo stuff, let me just. Last time we did this, there was a lot of comments. I mean, everyone loved you as Adler in Call of Duty. Literally, everyone wants to see you return. Here's some of the comments from that video where you and me spoke. Man, I really hope Adler comes back in the next Black Ops. I wish I had his voice as a morning alarm clock saying, "Wake up, we got a job to do." He is the best voice actor I've ever heard for a game. I love him so much. I hope we can get him on the next Call of Duty. Much
Oh,
respect. This man is a legend. Adler is the greatest thing Cold War's produced. Adler has to be my new favorite character in Black Ops. This man's voice is epic. It just goes on and on. I mean,
wow.
how does that
That's so
feel?
kind of you to repeat that. That's and thank you for the fans who wrote those. That's wonderful. That's oh my God, it warms my heart. That's my holiday present right there.
But that's your
That's really
goal
nice.
as an actor, isn't it? To get that sort of response. In a
Well, I
way.
mean, not directly. I mean, I don't seek that. That's
No,
not
but I
the
mean like to
but
you know
it's
you've done a
yes,
good
it's the
job.
sure, it's great validation. It's wonderful. Are you kidding? I mean, it's better than the opposite. That's for darn
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, so look, I got to say, you really did kick it out of the park, and I do hope you come back as that character. I'm sure you will. I know you've probably done stuff with Adler for Warzone and that sort of thing the
Yeah,
past year or so. They get you back
yeah,
in, I'm sure, for that story. But it seems like it's wrapped up for now.
it
Adler's
is.
sort of side,
It is.
yeah.
As far as I know, I haven't done anything for the new ones yet, but or I have no plans to do any of the new ones. That's totally up to them and up in the air. So, but yeah, I mean yeah, Warzone's fun because it's like doing a little voice version of a TV series. Like there's the ongoing episodes. It's really fun for the fans.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember when you recorded that scene with Stitch, or has it just been that long?
I couldn't tell you right offhand.
Yeah, that's
It
all
was a
right.
couple of months before it came out.
Yeah.
So I had some work to do on it.
And that's just still remote, or did you get to go back in?
I've been choosing to go into the studio as much as I can lately.
Nice.
It requires a little more paperwork on my part, and not nothing serious, and
Yeah.
a waiver, and then going in. But I love to go in and be with people. I think I don't know. We may have touched on this before, but I love to have an engineer in front of me, at least for somebody, a person, human being that can react to what I'm doing, and I can
Yeah.
play off them, and because I'm an actor, I like audiences, so.
Is that the Batman Hush poster you got in the background there?
Yeah,
Just
it
a little
is.
bit? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
There's
Adler
Adler
on the
there.
left. Love it.
That was a
Love it.
fan sent me that from Wisconsin,
That
actually.
is
He's painted
awesome.
it. It's
That's
an
painted.
acrylic. Yeah, it's painted as acrylic. He hand painted
Wow.
it and sent it to me. It was a beautiful gift.
That's amazing.
Then
Shout
over
out.
here we've got over the far wall we've got Justice League
Oh.
War.
Were you General Zod in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought so.
Good, man. They are
Good. I've
on
done
it.
my research, you know. No, I love all those animated films. So this big green guy, I mean, we didn't speak about it a lot last time, but
Yeah.
you've worked on Halo 4, Halo 5, and now Infinite, doing the
Yeah.
mocap. That's a hell of a role. That's a hell of a time.
It's a gift. Man, the last 10 years, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very fortunate. Count my blessings, and thank you to 343. They started it off and are still sticking by me.
So how did you land that role in the first place? Back in 2011, I guess it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I I was in a bar. I walked into a bar, and I had just started doing well. I just started trying to get into voiceover. I got a microphone at my home studios. Well, kind of some, not even a studio, just a desk and a microphone set up. It was probably sounded pretty bad, but I was sending in auditions and stuff. And I happened to be in this bar. A gentleman was sitting at the bar. His name is Jamie Mortellaro, and he's a voiceover director. And I didn't know that at the time, but he said, "Hey, man, we just started hitting off in a conversation." And he said, "What are you doing lately?" And I told him that I was starting to get into voiceover, that I had always had that interest, and even from when I was 6 years old. I can go into that story too. But
Wow.
he said, "That's funny. That's what I do." He said, "I direct video games." And he said, "As a matter of fact," like I saw the light bulb go off. He goes, I have something coming up for you." He said, "Oh my
You're
God, I've got something
serious.
coming."
You're not serious. Really?
I'm dead serious. It just happened to be
Wow.
in the right place at the right time. He gave me his card, and like often happens in LA or on big cities, New York too. People more so in LA though, for the fickleness
Yeah.
aspect of it. People
Yeah.
hand out their cards and you never see them again or hear from them again. So I expected that, and a couple months went by, and then I get a call out of the blue from him and said, I need you to put these lines on your mic. I need you to send in an audition. I won't go into all the details and the steps along the way, but it took several months before interimly, there was gaps in between hearing from these folk. And I thought, every time I thought, that's gone. I sent it in a while ago. That's gone.
Mm.
Long story short, 5-6 months later, literally, I finally get the call in to go in to meet the Microsoft people and the 343 people
Were you nervous
on a
for that?
sound.
Were you nervous for that, or you didn't really know how big this
Well, I was
was? Or
the reason I was nervous. I don't recall actually, but I'm sure I was probably just performance anxiety, like anything else.
yeah, yeah,
But more so probably because I had no idea what motion capture was or what I was getting myself into. And going to the stage, I knew that that's what it was for, and to meet the bigwigs at Microsoft and 343. And so, yeah, it was down to a dozen guys or so, I think. Long story short, I got it. And, it was thanks to Jamie Mortellaro the whole time.
wow. So it was that was of course was your first mocap performance as well in Halo 4, and geez,
Yeah.
you had a lot to do in that game. I know. In the final product, we don't hear your voice, but I don't think people know you do read the lines, you do perform as the character, don't you?
I
And
do.
you
I
do
do the whole
everything.
performance.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the reason they hired me. Josh Holmes at 343 was in charge of it then. He's not, well, I don't know what he's doing now. I don't even know if he's still there, but He very well could be. But he was in charge of bringing me in as an actor because they wanted to take Chief down this more of emotional, storyline. And they
Right.
wanted to make sure that we were bringing the full performance, physically and vocally. And so that helped Steve out. And he was able to, we shot all the scenes. And as you know, it was emotional. John goes through some big heartache there towards the end. And
Yeah.
so we brought it, and then Steve was able to watch all of that. Steve Downs was able to watch all that on video, on reference video, and then he just laid his beautiful voice in over my performance, and we together created this
You
this
two are a dynamic
deeper,
duo, man. You
the
two are.
deeper Master Chief. Yeah.
It's amazing how the characters evolved over the last 10 years. And by the way, Steve, I had him on yesterday. He said he owes you a game of golf, apparently.
Yes, he does. Yeah. I keep going to Florida and I text him and I say, when are we going to get out? And it's never the right time. Last time he had a family reunion or something in his house, and so couldn't make it. But
I didn't
yeah,
know. Are you much of a golfer?
I love golf.
Do you? Yeah.
I love golf.
Can
I'm
you
fairly good at it, but
handicap? Are you willing to share?
I'm right around 10.
Whoa. Okay. Hello. That's
I
pretty
can hit
good.
it. I can hit it.
That's better than me. Shit. Um.
No. So you love golf?
Yeah. The best I've ever got to was about 8, but that was before the pandemic.
Good.
Before the pandemic. So
See,
if I
so now, that's when it gets fun. Like when you can start to count on your shots. That's really fun.
My problem is the putting. Like most people.
Yeah.
Like most people. Get it there
The
in
scoring.
2 and ends up being a 5.
Yeah.
Plenty of people in here saying hi, Bruce. Amazing voice, Bruce. Bruce, my man, you're amazing. Did you wear weights when playing the Master Chief to capture his weight? Joseph asks. It's an interesting
Did I
question.
wear weights?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. That was
Oh,
my
wow.
idea because when I first, that came to me when we were first on stage. And me, Bruce, I have, and this comes up with Adler as well, by the way.
What?
This is sort of a trait that I have. And ever since I was a kid, when I walk, I sort of have a bounce in my step.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that wouldn't really work for Chief.
Yeah, okay.
So, like you could see him, bouncing. Hey, Cortana, what's going on? That's not going to work. So,
Yeah.
in order for me, the actor, to remind myself where I am in the space and the story and who I'm playing, he's
Mm.
8 feet, 800 pounds. So I decided to put these ankle weights on as much as I could take, like 5 or 8 pounds. I forget what they are, but I wrap them around my ankles. And so every time I walk around, there's a real weight to my center of gravity, just a real thudding of a plodding along of this gigantic tank of a man.
So are your ankles pretty torn up by the end of the shoot,
No,
or
they're
no? It's
they're
fine.
they're padded.
Yeah,
They're
but like,
wraparound
there's no
padded.
strain or anything for you at the end. It's pretty normal.
Uh, well, the only time it comes into play is when they have me running across the stage and jumping through like a
Yeah.
portal or something. Then I take them off. I tried to do that once and I got about a foot off the ground on my full strength trying to leap, and I went, oh my god, I almost bit it. So I had to take them off for the running and jumping.
So how did it feel when, like, with the release the last week and the amazing reviews and
Oof.
positivity and people saying this
Yes.
is your best performance, Steve's best performance? Like, how does that feel?
I'm so happy for 343 because they have taken all of this time since 5 to really just do their damnedest to get this right, whatever that means for them and for the fans. There were some things, starting to go a little off path according to fan feedback and stuff, and so they wanted to get back to the core of what Halo means for people. And it was a very serious endeavor, and it took a long time to do it. And I'm really proud of them, and I'm happy for them that this feedback is coming back, because it's it's so great, man. It's a wave of love that it's pretty cool to get.
And also, like, I spoke to Nicholas Roy, who plays Echo, the
Yeah.
pilot, and I spoke to Steve, and I've mentioned to them both the scene, the emotional scene where Chief gets on one knee next to the pilot. You remember
Yeah.
that scene, and he gives him a bit of a pep talk. How was that shooting that scene? Because that was an amazing performance, and I could even I felt the movements of you as well. Like I felt that through that scene somehow. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just a really touching scene for me.
Well, that's the beauty of motion capture too. It's come to a point where you can almost without movement, you can almost feel the performance coming through. It's just it picks up all the really subtle movements and emotional life that comes out. It was very moving, and Nick's a great actor to work with. Nick and I have been friends for a long time, and when we found out we were working together, it was just going to be a big party. We were so happy.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is
and
awesome. That
and he,
when you get to work with friends like that, it makes it
yeah,
easier, doesn't it, for the camaraderie?
it does. Yeah, yeah. Well, you start with an instant relationship,
Yeah,
and for the pilot, they are they're just meeting, but there's a real camaraderie there. That it's like any good story. It starts off with some tension, but then Chief, I think, takes a liking to him, understands his humanity, sees his humanity, and that's what Chief's all about. He really gets off on that stuff.
he's really developed Chief over the last few games. They're really showing more of an emotional side. Like another scene that stands out for me is with Darren DePaul, who does an amazing job as Escherum. Like
Yes.
that voice he puts on.
Oh my
Bare
God.
your fangs. That voice is incredible, and the performance. What was that like? Like across from
It
him.
it blew me away to be on the same stage with Darren. Um, oh my God, when he started doing his monologues as Eshram, and he started growing bigger like that. Just he was 20 feet away from me, and I don't have any hair to blow back, but I felt like my hair was blowing back. It was so powerful, and it came from such a depth of emotion. Darren is just a fantastic talent that can bring it like that, like nobody else.
What's he like when he finishes a monologue on set? How does he? How does
He's a
he?
little boy. His
Really?
regular personality is he's this grown man who is elegant and sophisticated and intelligent and a wonderful world traveler. And he's got so much joy. He's like a little boy. As soon as he's done, he's like, "How was that?"
No way!
It's
Really?
wonderful. It's so
Oh
wonderful.
wow!
His enthusiasm and his passion for it is just infectious, and it kept the whole set just really full of life.
And that was his first time, wasn't it, in the motion
That was
capture?
his first. Yes, it was his first experience in motion capture.
Not his first game. That's he's got a mile long credit, but uh, yeah, he really impressed me. And that scene with you two, spoilers, guys, where he, after the boss fight where he's dying, and that was a really great scene as well, where Chief respects him a little bit at the end
Right.
there. Like that was
Right.
fantastic. You don't see that in games very often.
It's a little nod to because Chief understands too that he's from Eshram's point of view, he's trying to do the right thing by his own people, and so there's a little nod of respect there.
Wow. Yeah. That was a great scene. What was the most challenging scene for you in terms of the whole shoot for Infinite in particular? Which one gave you the most I don't know, gave you the biggest challenge?
To be honest with you, I'm trying to remember what we shot. It was 2 years ago, and I don't play the games. I still don't have an Xbox or anything.
Yeah, I
I
remember
can't
you
get one.
telling
I
me
can't
last
get one.
time.
I know. I'm on a list to get one, and I can't. Anyway,
How many Halo games do you have to be in to get an Xbox? Oh shit.
Chief
No.
doesn't have a box. Oh, whatever. Um,
You can't recall at this moment.
oh, well, all the stuff with all this. Anytime I get to look into Jen Taylor's eyes and work,
Really?
is a beautiful event for me. Yeah,
Not
she's
for her.
so yeah. I can't speak for her, but she's so talented.
Yeah.
But the subtle lines she drew as a difference between Cortana and the weapon, she would always, she tends to between scenes say, now you're going to tell me if I cross into Cortana, right? I want you to keep an eye out for that, because I'm really, there's just a subtle variation, a subtle difference between the two. And then she plays Dr. Halsey on top of it, and so
I don't
she
know
was
how she
playing
does it.
characters sometimes back to back in the same scene. Um,
I don't know how she does it.
I don't either. I don't either. That
Uh,
was, I mean, that's talent. Like, I haven't seen talent that that complex on a game before. You know,
no.
working with her,
And
she's wonderful.
I actually think there was a scene where all three of her characters were in the one scene. I could be
Yeah,
wrong there. So I don't
no,
know.
no, it's absolutely, they are, because there's flashbacks of Dr. Halsey that come into play.
So how
And
does that work on set? Is she doing one at a time or
yeah,
like yeah,
no, yeah,
right.
it would be too much to be Robin Williams and try to do all of them.
No, no, exactly, yeah. I thought maybe they like do it on another day and play back the audio or something. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Well, did we do that? No. I probably, we probably, Dan, the director, probably played us back. If we had recorded something prior, he probably played it back as a reference point for her to then play off of. Yeah,
Yeah,
that probably did happen.
yeah, man, you had some talented people to work across in this one, hey?
Sure did. Unfortunately, I didn't get to work alongside Deborah Wilson. Um,
Oh no,
who I love
yeah,
to. I got to work with her on Gears Tactics for a whole year, and
she's amazing. She's
she's
amazing.
amazing. She's so much fun too.
Yeah, Mad TV, hey, and then just
Oh my God, 8 seasons of Mad TV.
transitioned into an incredible actor in so many games. Like it's
Well,
unreal.
she's just got that. She's got that improv comedian's imagination. She can really go, and when she goes to someplace, she really commits fully into a character. It's beautiful.
Was she? Did she do motion capture for that character? Or was that voice only? Do you know?
I don't. I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm assuming not, because I think,
yeah. I
as we
think it's
got into
voice.
before, the very last week of motion capture was the week that COVID broke out in the Upper West, and that's where we
Oh,
were.
right.
We were in the town of Kirkland, Washington, where COVID actually first reared its ugly head. And so we were a mile away from that nursing home where all those people died initially.
Shit.
And
Wow.
that's when we stopped. We stopped a few days after that and got the hell out of there. And so, as far as I know, that was the last production week of motion capture for Halo Infinite. It just happened to be the last one scheduled as well.
Wow. So the direction was obviously to try and bring out the humanity of Chief. How do you even tackle something like that with a guy like this who's so, you know, robotic in a way, if you know what I mean? He's very doesn't show much, doesn't say much either, you know. How do you try to do that? Like
Well, he's
that's
a man of few words, as we know, and I'm kind of used to playing those guys between Batman and Adler. I guess he's a man of pretty few words, but
mm,
I tend to play these guys of strength, but they also have an incredible passion for righteousness underneath that. You know, they're
mm,
always trying to. They have something that drives them to do the right thing, and in Master Chief's world, it's all about people and saving humanity. And so I just look across from me on the stage, and I invest everything, all my attention and all my heart into the person that's opposite me, and let's see how that comes out. If that ends up leaving his exoskeleton or not, if you can read it or not. So I just invest my heart into the people that are opposite me, and then see where it goes.
do you end up getting
I don't try to embellish him in any way. I don't try to force
right,
anything as far as movements go. I just allow my own behavior to be there.
right? So do you ever get emotional on the set, like in a scene with, Yeah, that final scene with Cortana, is that get you worked up at all, or are you pretty professional these days? Pretty able to keep it in check, or what?
I get emotional for sure, and I
Yeah.
think that was, and because, well, John did, and um, if I'm going to play John, it's,
You've got to go there.
you got to go there. You have to invest in what Cortana meant to him, uh, and she was everything to him. She was
Mm.
his connection to survival. When he was losing her, he would then where he would be alone in the universe. He would be alone again.
Yeah,
So
and you've also got Halo 4 to draw back on as well. All those scenes that you did there as well. So it's not like you're coming in fresh at all. You've known this story and known this character for years, haven't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was referring to actually. Is that scene, the last scene in
In
Halo
4,
4?
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, and
that's everyone loves that scene. It feels like that's a millions of views on YouTube. Like people always go back to it because it is so emotional. You know.
the actress who I did the motion capture with was Mackenzie Mason, who and she was cast for the same reason at that time. For some reason, Jen didn't do the motion capture for that part of it,
Oh,
and
really? Wow.
Mackenzie really brought that performance, and she was sobbing as Cortana was leaving, or breaking apart, breaking down,
Wow.
and I didn't have to do much except listen and be there for her and relate to her and allow my heart to be taken by her. And it was pretty easy to go there.
How do you come down after that? Again, like when they say cut, is everyone just quiet on the set?
Yeah,
Or yeah, they are.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They'll
Wow.
come over and, it's funny because in theater and on film and on TV series, on camera work, that happens all the time. You get that level of work all the time, every day. So people on the crew understand it, and it's just another day at the office for them. People
Yeah.
crying, that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for a video game crew, who tend to be, the animators, they're more technically minded people, and I don't think so. It's an interesting day on set when they can experience something like that, and when they come over to you afterwards, there's a hand on the shoulder. There's a, "Are you guys okay?" Shit, yeah, we're okay. We got to experience that.
Yeah, you love it. That's what you
We
thrive
love it. That's what
off.
we live for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know what you mean. Like, let's be honest, there wasn't much crying on the set of Call of Duty. It was a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
be honest here. You,
Although,
Reggie, and Lily, no?
although there was a scene between Lily and Damon,
That was good. That was a good scene. Yeah.
yeah, Lazar and Park, and that came. I didn't see it coming. I was on the side of the stage when that happened, and all of us were. I was talking to Damon Allen, who plays Woods, the new voice of Woods, and Reggie. We were off to the side, and we were watching. And suddenly, we were having a chat quietly, and at the same time, I'll never forget it. We felt this intensity coming from the stage, and we just stopped talking, and we looked over, and we were drawn to these two people who were having this incredible connection, and it was a beautiful thing to unfold. And I think we applauded at the end. It was amazing to see that. Like I said, it wasn't written that way. They brought that. It's beautiful.
You guys have got to do it again. Just quietly.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. I'm telling you, Adler, you're going to be playing Adler for the next 20 years. I'll tell you right now. That's how well this
Oh
character,
darn.
he's already iconic in the world. People love him. He is definitely coming back. So you can book your holidays, mate. I think you've got plenty of work to come. All
Well, I'm
right.
in, man. I love that. I love that whole storyline. Thanks to Bob Love, who created that whole story at Raven Studios. I
Yeah.
always give him credit when I talk about it, and it's rightfully so.
Such a great campaign with all the choices, and they did such a good job. Like I'm always a big advocate for that game, in terms of the campaign, especially. Bebe here says, "How was the motion capture performance captured changed with COVID? Had it limited what actors and staff were able to do?"
Well, at first we didn't do any of it. It took about, gosh, almost the first year. It almost took. I don't think anybody was doing any motion capture till I think COVID started in late February, early March, and I don't think it was till the end of the year, if
Wow.
that, maybe even
Mm.
later. Um, and then we still have to do, like I just had an audition for another lead in a big game with somebody, and I had to go to the studio, to the sound stage, to the mocap stage, and boy, there was layers of paper I had to sign like 3 or 4 days in advance, and I had to go get a COVID test. I had to go down there to the studio to get a COVID test, come back, go down there the next day after it
Oh
was
God, that would do
came
my
out.
head in. I know you have to do it,
Yeah,
but
you have to
yeah,
do it. And then even though you're vaccinated, you have to prove that, and then
yeah.
they wear a shield and a mask, and it's a whole thing, and I get it. I mean,
Oh, of
their insurance
course.
my insurance companies are just freaking out that we're we're getting together in droves and so indoors and having to work together. I get it. It's tough. Must be tough on them.
Mm. It's amazing some of these movies that are coming out that have been able to just like the latest Spider-Man is able to just they didn't shut down once. A massive crew like that, you'd think it'd be because you heard stories about Tom Cruise and people like that that have had to shut down production, but some of them just are able to do it. It's because they're so precious about it. Like you said, they're very very strict, aren't they?
Yeah,
Mm.
that show, I think it's on HBO, White Lotus, that was just
Yeah,
came out with a series.
yeah, I like that
I
show.
think the story there was they were in Hawaii, and Hawaii was completely shut down, and so they were just able to sort of seal off the boundaries of that
Of
beach and
the
that set and
hotel,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And they made it a safe zone, and so they just shot all of it there during the pandemic because they were all there together.
And they I believe they stayed at the same hotel as well.
Yeah,
Bizarre. But great
yeah.
show. I don't know if you've seen it. That's a great show. Very quirky.
I have,
You have?
because I
Yeah.
worked with Jennifer Coolidge, who I love. I love Jennifer
Oh, how
Coolidge.
good is she? Far
So I
out.
worked with him Legally Blonde.
She's amazing,
Yeah.
especially in that show. Wow.
Yep.
This guy is so cool. He was in Kyle XY. That's from Jordan.
Yeah. Good
There we
call.
go. There we go. There we go. I haven't seen Kyle XY. It's been a
Daddy
while.
Traeger. I was the father of the family. That's
Oh,
sort of a little sci-fi thing. I don't know. You might like it. It's
yeah.
yeah.
I might
It's
check it
three
out.
seasons.
I'm so glad Bruce is here again. So enjoyable to watch. Much love.
Well, love back. Thank you.
Bell, we've got a job to do.
Oh, we've got a job to do. We've got a job
You
to do,
know,
baby.
I've used that so many times since, Bruce. You know that, do you? So
No, I didn't.
I wanna ask you about the ending scene where the names are revealed in Infinite, and we know that his name's Fernando Esparza, Nicholas's character, but the weapon is her name Cortana, because I like that's what I got from it. She mentions perfect, and I just feel like is that what she's trying to say, or what's your opinion? This isn't 100%. 343 got the sniper on you probably, but
They
what's
do.
like what's your opinion on that when you read it? Is that what you got from it or not?
I think it was. I think it was purposely left vague like that for you guys to scratch your heads about, and maybe even to get some ideas from the fans. I don't know. I
Okay.
I know we were talking about it on set, and I think that was the idea, is to purposely leave it up in the air for you guys to fight over.
Okay, Bruce. All right. So you don't
I have
have
to stay
it.
non-committal.
Okay. Do you have one in mind in your head, but you're not going to share it? Is that what you're saying?
I don't have one in my mind, actually. To be honest with you, I was going to try to come up with something funny for you right now, but I don't have anything in my that I was thinking that it should be.
Okay.
No,
Well,
you'll have to have Jen on.
oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. So we hopefully we will see a DLC or campaign down the line. I mean, this can't be the end, and I'm sure like You've done the last 3 games now, so I'm sure you'll be back as long as you haven't, you know.
As long as I haven't pissed anybody off.
Yeah, which I don't think you have. So, oh, we're gonna have to do this yearly. This is gonna be a yearly thing, and you're gonna be sick of me in 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to do that show again, for fuck's sake.
You'll be
I'll
great.
be
next
sick
time.
of you. I'll be
You'll end up
great. Yeah,
getting
okay. Guys, if you've got any questions for Bruce, send them in. I also wanted to know, Bruce, the difference for you from Halo 4 to Halo Infinite in your approach and the way it all was shot and just how things went compared from the first time Halo 4 to now. What's like the biggest differences that you can tell us about?
The biggest difference for us was that Halo 4 was done on a big motion capture stage here in Los Angeles, and we did all of Infinite this time for the first time up in Seattle, and it was sort of a makeshift. It wasn't a permanently built studio. It wasn't even a production facility of any kind. They created their own motion capture stage up there. And it seemed like, when I first got there, it seemed like it was pretty primitive, because it is. There's curtains along the walls. It's not like when you walk into a big Jim Cameron studio like we did the first time. Mm-hmm. It's this huge soundstage, like a big thing at Paramount or something, and there's thousands of cameras around you, and you're going, wow, what is this that I just walked into? It's amazing, because they shot all of Avatar there. And then this time it was on a much smaller scale. It's intimate. And it was sort of makeshift, but man, they knew what they were doing. They did it all to a T, precisely. Obviously, it worked well. Yeah, that was the big difference for us.
I've heard from other actors that it can sometimes be beneficial the smaller the space. Would you agree with that or not?
Well, it brings a more intimate feeling for the performance.
Yeah, I've heard that from multiple people. That just say, like, I don't know, there's something about it. Because if it's too big and too wide, it sort of feels hollow in a way, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then you're really forced to put your craft at work. Like if you're in the middle of this gigantic stage, like I was talking about, and in a motion capture stage, people don't understand, there's no furniture references. All there is there are references, but there are no props, there are no furniture. You have to create everything with your mind. The only thing that's there, like if there's a rock here you're supposed to lean against on the planet or something, they'll have some sort of a piece of wood set up, or just a makeshift PVC pipe thing that you're supposed to lean on like it's the rock. So my point is, you have to live in your mind anyway. You have to create it like a little kid playing. So when you're on a big stage, I've seen actors like Stephen Bauer do a very intimate, beautiful scene with a dying bird in his hand, in the middle of a gigantic stage with nothing around him except crew that are 20, 30 feet away.
Wow.
And he just brought it to life, and it was beautiful and emotional.
But he had nothing in his hand, obviously.
Nothing.
Wow.
And I had to do that in Gears Tactics too. There was some emotional life that Sid went through, being captured, and he reflects on his life, and he reflects on what's important to him and stuff. And I got emotional doing that. But that was in the middle of a huge stage too. It just forces you to go inward, as opposed to a more intimate setting where you don't need to do that. You can just focus on the people in front of you, and the walls are right here anyway.
So when you're like Chief's jumping out of a plane or whatever, a ship, or going into a warthog or anything, is that you, or do you cut before and they animate that after? That sort of stuff in the game. Do you know, is there any props that you had to deal with at all? I know you got a prop gun.
Yeah, prop gun. The grappling hook, we just sort of mimed.
Oh no! Did you feel silly? A little bit silly?
A little bit, because I'm being pulled in.
Feel like Spider-Man a bit?
Yeah. I used my web.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything?
if he's walking up the ramp into the ship, I do
Yep.
that.
Okay.
I jump through waypoints. I do when he exits a waypoint and tumbles to a finished position like superheroes do, even if he's rolling.
Yeah.
I do that. I do that.
Okay.
The flying parts, anything to do with flying or,
Like when he jumps off that massive plate, like he's jumping off into the.
yeah,
You remember that
that's
scene?
just animated.
That's
I
just
mean,
all animated. Do you just pretend to?
I do the initial, I'll do the initial leap, but then the animators take
Yeah.
over and just
Yeah.
do what they do. And so
Yep.
on Halo 4 and 5, though, I remember in LA at the big studios, they had some stunt performers come in as chief. Some real stunt guys
That's what I
to
thought.
fly
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
air
But this
and
one
do some
didn't really need it as much, did it? Yeah.
right.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. And also, I don't think people know, but you have like a. Nicholas was telling me you've got a ball on the top of your head to get the height right, and
Yeah.
and you were telling him, Nick, you
He's
got to
telling
look
our
at the ball,
secrets.
not me. You got to look at the
Yeah,
ball, not.
he's telling our secrets.
He is. He
Yeah,
is.
because Chief is so tall. He's a foot taller than I am, foot and a half taller than I am. Um, I, I'm wearing a baseball. We figured this out because Nick is such a good actor. He always wants to look in my eyes, and every actor does. And so this was his first time really doing motion capture too. And so he would always look in my eyes because his job was to get emotional as the pilot, like, Chief, come on, man. And he'd look me right in the eye, and I'd keep going. And then finally, we came up with the idea of taking a baseball hat, and they rigged a piece of, maybe Nick already went through this with you, but a piece
No, he
of
didn't.
dowel,
He didn't.
wooden dowel with a little styrofoam thing with two eyes and a smile on it.
Oh
And
my
that's where
goodness.
just and even when I had that on, I look like an idiot. But when I had that, and it's hard to be stoic, Chief. It's hard to be the hero when you've got a goofy little thing sticking on the top of your head. But even when we would rehearse with that, I'd keep having to go to Nick
Freaking hell.
up here.
You guys must have had so much fun, eh? Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. No, that's not the first time I've heard that. I've had someone on this year who also had to have the stick because the character was so tall. It's only a select few of you that have done it, and
Yeah.
but it's an interesting experience, I guess. Hey,
It's tough on. It was tougher on Nick because
yeah,
Chief doesn't really have to get emotional and stuff. But and I've got that visor, so nobody sees my eyes where I'm looking. I'm just looking kind of down. But it's tough on him because, like I said, he's getting emotional with a little styrofoam ball. It's really tough.
Kudos to Nick. He was great.
Yeah.
We love Nick. Galaxy here says, did you do the mocap for the vertical slice cutscene in Halo 4? There is a cutscene in a few dev builds of Halo 4 that contain an early vertical slice cutscene. Don't you might not know the answer to that. Yeah, it's like vertical slice is like a demo version or like an early version of a cutscene. Does that ring a bell at all to you? I'm guessing you would have done that. I mean, no one else did the mocap for him. Did they? Yeah,
Well,
so it would have been
like
you.
I said, unless they had stunt guys do something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't bring me on early to do any previs or anything like that.
What was the scene, Galaxy? Let us know like what happened in the scene, and we might be able to let you know. Bruce would be a good name, says Nickel. What?
For what?
What do you mean?
Cortana?
What was it like working with the director of Halo Infinite? That's from Joseph.
Oh, Dan is
Anyone named Dan is a pleasure to work with. No.
yeah. Well, I mean, he is. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's super kind. Like, he's very opinionated. So it'll be a yes, no, let's do it better this time, things like that. But he's got such a beautiful heart. I mean, Nick and I were talking about it the other day. Whenever you get a text from Dan, it's so full of love. And anytime he DMs me on Instagram or something, he's just like my best friend is talking to me. It's all full of love, and he's a great guy. Everybody there at 343 is similar. I mean, it's just a nice little family to be part of.
We're happy for them that the game's been a success because, Halo 5 got some, it did get some bit of backlash there. Not everyone was happy with it, and then Halo 4 was as well, couldn't get everything together, but it seems like with this game, everything's come together for them, which is really, I'm really happy for them. Medieval here says, I asked Steve the same question, Bruce. How many ants can you fight? Oh man, this is the worst question. He said it. He sent it in yesterday via super chat to Steve. Steve didn't know how to answer it. Do you know how to answer that question? How many ants can you fight, Bruce?
How many what?
Ants can you fight?
How many ants can I find?
Fight.
Fight. How many ants can I fight? I don't understand that.
No, I don't either.
How many ants can I fight?
Oh man.
ANTS or AUN?
ANTS. ANTS. Yeah. How many ants? I'm guessing you could take on at least 1 billion.
God. Well, it depends on if they're those great big carpenter ants.
Oh.
Those would be tough. That would be scary.
Yeah, I'd run away.
They'd be crunchy. I could eat my way through those though. Oh, that's disgusting.
What? You eat them? Have you eaten them?
I would just flash through my mind that some people eat bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
No,
that's disgusting. I've never had one in my life.
No, me either. I know my girlfriend's had like a bug, eaten one of those bugs, and she said the texture was so disgusting, And it's a delicacy for some people. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. Do they fry them or something?
Yeah, they fry them. They fry them. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And they love the crunch. But to me, I'm like, no, thank you.
Well, there for a while, they said that was going to be the new they're going to use that for protein instead of meat. Like, no, thanks.
No, I'm out. So was it bittersweet for you to end this one? Like is it bittersweet to end a project like this because it's a big undertaking and it's a big character, and I don't know if you know, but I did some research on like top gaming characters of all time. Every list that I looked at, Chief was in the top 10. Every single list, top 10 characters of all time, gaming characters.
Wow.
Like that's crazy. So, and he was number one on a lot of lists as well.
I'm so moved by the fact that I continue to do this. Yeah, I'm very moved. I don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful for this opportunity because, like I said, or like we talked about, actually, you brought it up too. He's a stoic guy. It's hard to nail Chief. It's hard to not when you're playing him. It's hard to not go too far. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to get a little too emotional or something, to push it, to want to illustrate who he is, but you can't. You have to pull back. You just have to be him, and you have to trust that that's gonna read. And so I'm grateful that I've been able to find those subtleties and really walk in his shoes. It's cool.
Like, what's the last day on set like for a game? Like, are you prepared that that's the last day, that's the last scene you're going to shoot? Or is it because I know you were prepared, you knew?
Yeah. Well, this one, like we touched on, it was a little bittersweet because I knew because of the COVID that was happening a mile away, people were trying to wrap it up as soon as we could. And they knew I had to get back to LA. And so we kind of shot me out a day early so that I could get on a plane and get out of there. For my own safety, which was super kind of them. Again, here I am.
Wow.
Able to get away from COVID at that point, and they all had to stay. And so I felt
you felt bad
about that. Yeah, here I am able to fly out and away from it. It's definitely every day, every last day. If you're invested in anything, is a bittersweet moment.
few more questions here for you, man, from me. Any memorabilia or collectibles that you get along the way for Chief or Call of Duty or any of them? Do you get anything to come home or just memories?
Just memories.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No Xbox, guys. Come on.
I know.
No PlayStation. No. Okay. There
I'll
you
even
go.
pay for the damn thing. I just want one.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
There
Interesting.
are some cool. There are some cool things. They've got a up in at 343. They've got a museum set up there in the lobby, and then in the back they've got where the employees are. They've got a room there where there's all this merchandise on the shelves and stuff. And when I was there, I happened to be there, and they took me in there, and I went, oh. But they were out of a bunch of stuff. Everything that I wanted, they were out of, and so I was out of luck. I couldn't.
Oh,
Really
as in
bring
you could purchase some of it or
I
something.
could. They were actually going
Ah,
to give me stuff, but
right.
they were out of. They were out of the.
Okay.
Good
Just all
things.
Chief stuff, I'm guessing, or
No, it was all kinds of stuff.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Right. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like. I wish I did have a little museum of in retrospect, so I could,
I
just
think
reflect back on it.
I think someone needs to paint you. Anyone in the chat, let's get this man a nice, beautiful Chief painting for next time.
Yeah.
Right here, we'll replace Hush with Chief, or move Hush to the right, and get Chief right there. What do you think?
Yeah,
That'd
yeah,
be-
yeah. We need Chief on the wall
yeah.
for sure.
3 games, man, and blood, sweat, and tears. I think you need something because that's you're gonna remember this role for the rest of your life. It's an incredible role.
Absolutely.
And even though how does it feel though? And this might be a tough question for you, like not having your voice in the game. Is that something you had to come to grips with at all?
Yeah,
Or yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. In fact, somebody, I was at an art gallery opening last night, and somebody was talking to me about that, and he
Wow.
said, because I explained to him the whole process of what I do for this game. It's the only game that I do that without doing the voice.
Yeah.
And
It's not common in the industry, just to let everyone know. Like that, it's not really that common from people I've spoken to. But go ahead.
right. Uh, yeah. It just happens to work for this situation.
Yep.
But this actor was talking to me, and he said, "Do you like that? That your voice is not in it?" And I said, "No, I don't." But in this
Yep.
case, that's the game. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No, that's
Steve's-
the answer I
Steve's
expected.
iconic.
Yeah, that's the answer
Yeah.
I expected, to be honest. Yeah. Because it's a very unique situation. And yeah, because you put so much effort in. That's the thing. It's just, I guess it's the recognition. Your performance is still there on the screen for us to all
Well,
see. But
and I
it's
have
just,
to, right. I have to give the fans a little nod. Thank you for recognizing what I do for Chief. It's been really nice, because that is, in the end, that's all I have as far as validation for how my performance went. Yeah, if I didn't have the fans acknowledging that I did that portion of it, it would be way more frustrating in the end.
and
But you guys,
do you just put on a normal voice for the character when you're on the set?
no,
wanted
I try to do my best, Steve.
Oh, you do, yeah.
I do, because that's who John is too. And I just sort of live down here. I do the best I can with Cortana. Show me the waypoint.
Finish.
It's not like him. He's got his own flavor that
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah.
All his. But for both for Jen and for myself and for Nick and for everybody involved, it just makes it more realistic for all of us.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
try to go there.
Amazing, man. Couple more questions from the audience, and then I'll let you go. I know you're a very busy man. Young Lee. Hi, Bruce. I understand that you've played Batman in commercials before. If given the chance to play the role again, would you do it?
Is that a trick question? Of course. Yeah, no.
Do you
I
want to
would
play
jump.
Batman?
I'm a little, as you can see here, I'm a little long in the tooth to
No.
play Batman. But
No.
but yeah, there are opportunities. There was a game at one point that I was hired to play an older version of Bruce Wayne, a huge game that was after that it was shelved, so it's not going to come to light, at least to my knowledge.
Yep.
But I was actually cast to play Bruce Wayne, a 60-year-old Bruce Wayne who was then going to mentor a younger guy
Wow.
into playing the role, and it was a cool idea set up. He was
Wow.
just all beat up, and he'd been there, done that, gone through it, and
Man,
so I was looking
that
forward
sounds
to that.
sick.
And then,
Now I'm annoyed. You as an
yeah,
older Bruce Wayne, that sounds amazing. What are they
yeah.
doing? That shouldn't be shelved. Come on. Oh, that sounds amazing.
But there's always endless products in the Batman world. They just keep coming out with more and more and more. So maybe one day,
I would
maybe something
love
like that'll come along again. Who knows?
I would love to see you as Bruce. I think you would. Oh, you'd be so good. I'm not sucking up your ass, but that is a role that you would be perfect for, in my opinion. And an
Yeah,
older.
those. I mean, for those that want to check it out, what she's talking about is it was a girl. I think I don't know who's saying that, but whoever was talking about it, there are a series of commercials you can look up on YouTube. Just look up Batman OnStar Batman, and you'll see a whole reel of
But live action,
years
wasn't it?
worth of commercials. Yeah, it was live action. I was the actual Batman with the Tim Burton yellow insignia. It was 20 years ago, so it was that older version of the suit. But
Yeah,
I got
you
to
haven't
be in
aged today.
Batmobile, and
To me, Halo 2, 3, Chief was a mindless killing machine. In 4, 5, and Infinite, he's a bit more subtle in his journey to humanity. Interesting. Galaxy, Chief enters what appears to be a command deck of the forward onto Dawn where Cortana is, and Chief is trying to get to escape the pod, but Cortana had to stay behind on the ship. I think we're pushing Bruce's knowledge here. It's been a while since you did Halo 4.
are they referring to Forward Unto Dawn, the series that was made?
I think so, yeah. Well, I think he's referring
That
to this
wasn't- I wasn't-
vertical slice. You know the question before? Where
Yeah.
there was that... Does that ring a bell?
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah. Does that ring a bell? That's what I just said?
No.
Nah.
I wasn't involved with that particular project. If it was the Forward Unto Dawn series, miniseries that they were talking about, there was a live action thing that was done back then. I don't know if that's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
No, that
That's
doesn't
all right,
ring a
man.
bell.
Are you looking forward to the Halo TV series, Bruce?
I am. I think Pablo Schreiber's. I hope. I mean, I hope he does really well. I can't. It's going to be. It's going to be interesting. I think. I was thinking about that the other day too. Like, how are these going to coincide side by side as time goes on? What's going to happen here? You know.
Yeah.
What's the storyline for that show versus the storyline for our games?
Is that going to be weird for you to see someone else's Chief, like besides you
He's
and
going to
Steve?
take all the glory.
He's going to take all the glory. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess so. That's just how it works sometimes, eh?
Yeah.
In these sort of things. Yeah.
I remember that was in the works for a long time. I remember, I think Spielberg was at one point interested in trying to make something.
Wow.
Like back when we were doing Halo 4, I think there was some kind of communication going on, and they just couldn't get Microsoft 343. They didn't want to, they just didn't see eye to eye, I think is what happened. But don't
Didn't
quote me
see
on
eye
that.
to eye with Steve Spielberg? That's an interesting... Yeah, I know. We don't know how
I don't know
went
if it
down.
was Spielberg or I don't know
Yeah.
if, I just what I heard. I remember the rumors going around at that point. So,
Yeah.
but it's been years in the making. I know that, and they finally got around to doing it.
Yeah. And one other thing I wanted to know was, do you control the pacing of a scene in Infinite? And does Steve work off your lines? And does he do his own thing? Do you know what I mean? Like when you deliver it, does he copy that amount of time you do it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, does he dub you in a way?
Yeah.
Or what?
I think I can't speak to that 100% because I'm not in the editing process. And Steve comes along after I do all my stuff, and he's in the booth, and then the director, and then they decide. Ultimately, they decide. Dan and 343 decide the right pacing for those scenes. And so, yes, to answer the first part of the question, Jen and I and Darren and Nick, we essentially decide the pacing based on how we're interpreting the characters and what they would do and what they wouldn't do. So we do have input in that. And then the director Dan is always got he's the one that decides to tighten it up or to let it breathe a little bit. But essentially he's watching us when we rehearse, and that's how it starts. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of input in that.
It's such a weird, an interesting dynamic, the whole thing. But it comes.
And then Steve,
Yeah.
from what I understand, Steve, not sorry, didn't mean to jump in on you there.
No.
But just to answer the rest of the question, Steve, from what I understand, has for him to use, whether he does or not, he's got the video reference of my performance if he needs it. If he doesn't, hats off to him. But it's there for him to refer to if he needs it.
Wow.
To make it all work and sync up.
And look, it comes together in the end, man. It's one hell of a game. I really enjoyed it. That's two in a row now. Last year and this year now. Can you do it next year as well, Bruce? Come on, 3 in a row.
Maybe a little too much pressure for me, Dan.
Okay.
No, there's I think there's one coming
hopefully
out
no
this year.
delays, because with COVID and that, a lot of games are getting delayed. But
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you in many more projects, eh?
Yeah.
Are there any
Well,
you can talk about? Anything you want to plug or anything?
no.
No. I don't blame you. You got
Nothing
snipers from all directions looking at you.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's all good. Do you want to say anything to the fans, Bruce?
I love you. Thank you for being there. You make it all. God, without you guys, it would just be another job. And you guys have been so full of love reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that.
And make sure you follow Bruce on all socials, guys. Twitter, Instagram. Get a cameo from Bruce.
Yeah.
What else, Bruce, am I missing? Are you on TikTok, Bruce?
I am on TikTok.
Are you? Nice. There you go.
I've done, my son keeps saying, do more, Dad. He's in his 20s, early 20s. And he just said, dude, because the first 4 videos I did of Adler on TikTok, they're just these like 6-second, 8-second, 10-second little
Go
snippets
viral.
of Adler doing stupid shit. Well, I got like 40,000 followers just from 4 little 6-second videos. And so, and then I just sort of went, okay, I've done that, because I didn't understand what TikTok was all about. But then my son is like, dude, keep doing those. Those are great. Those are funny. The people love them. So I will. I promise you I will. I'm gonna
Please do. Yeah, they are funny. They are funny. And it's people love it. There's a lot of Call of Duty fans on TikTok. So you'll probably get 100,000 just like that by next week. As I said, man, literally millions of people love Adler. I don't think you understand. Millions of people love that character. Like, it's crazy.
I know there's some fans. Well, thank you. I didn't realize there was that many, but there's some fans that hit me up on Instagram and go, dude, how come nobody follows you? Because I've only got like 4,000 followers on Instagram and 5,000 on Twitter. And they're like, why is it that nobody knows you yet? I said, I don't know. I don't really push it. I don't really try.
You don't push it. But next game, we're going to get you. We're going to get you up there. It's all good. No, look, Bruce, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on again, mate. Second time round.
Happy anniversary to us.
That's it. 1 year. Look at us. We're looking better than last year. We're much happier, I think.
Looking better in a mask.
No, that's amazing.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you so much for coming on again. And I look forward to doing it again soon. And, of course, Guys, follow him. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know the drill. And we really appreciate you and your performance in Infinite, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, mate. Take care.
Cheers.
The greatest interviewer of all time. Dan Allen Gaming. If there's one podcast you want to hear this year, it's Dan Allen Gaming.
Dan, we've got a job to do.
Mr. Allen, I've been waiting for you, Mr. Dan Allen. Anyone has heard of the likes of you, especially your YouTube channel. It's amazingly entertaining. Good job.
This is Geralt of Rivia, and you're watching Dan Allen Gaming. Yeah.
This is Agent 47. Subscribe to Dan Allen Gaming. He's a great guy.
I always knew we were destined for something great to happen. A lot of people want to change their cards, not me. I like the hand we've been dealt.
I'm gonna come find you, little man thing.
Dan, I knew you'd love me. Come on now, just a little taste.
Dan Allen Gaming. He's a lovely boy.
Super Dan, you number one. Woohoo!
This is Colt calling out to Dan the Animal Allen. I'm gonna break this fucking loop, or I'm gonna break your neck.
You're watching Dan Allen Gaming, and you're going to regret it.
Dan, you and I are gonna take back the universe for humanity.
We're having a problem with Metal Gear, and I need your help. So contact me by codec, damn it.
Dan Allen, you and I going dark now.
Are you being cheeky, Dan?
I like to keep this for close encounters.
Tune into Dan Allen Gaming, or else I'm coming after you. You're fucking down.
I've been interviewed by Dan Allen of Dan Allen Gaming. Not to be mistaken for Van Allen. You know the belts? No, not the same guy. Not even related. Okay, Jackie out.
All the best to you. Just don't cross me.
Dan Allen Gaming, you have got to be one of the best things to come out of Australia. Did you know that? You and me, we would have been unstoppable. Anyways, outlaws for life, partner.
Your face, your ass, what's the difference?
It's okay, Dan. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. But you shouldn't have done that. It fucking hurts!
Let's find out if Dan Allen Gaming really is the best fucking show in town.
Dan! You eat babies! Everybody knows that!
Guys, that is it for Season 1. That is it for Season 1 of the live streams, of the interviews. I am going to take a well-needed break, well-needed rest, and we've interviewed some amazing guests over the last... what's it been? Year or so for Season 1 of Live with Dan Allen Gaming. We've had Bruce Thomas on. He was the first ever guest. And now we're going to end Season 1, I'm calling it, with Bruce Thomas again. I think that's a great way to end it. It's been amazing. We've had James C. Burns, who plays Frank Woods. We've had Greg Brick, who plays the father in Far Cry. We've had Jeremy Lee, the female V. We've had Jennifer Hale, Commander Shepard. We've had Farah from Call of Duty, Claudia Domit, Craig Fairbrass as Ghost, who apparently might be coming back as Ghost again. We've had Roger Clark, Red Dead Redemption, Arthur Morgan, John Marsden himself, Rob Wiedoff. We've had Kevin Conroy as the Batman himself from Arkham. the list goes on. We've had some amazing guests. Troy Baker, Joel from The Last of Us. You know, that's one of his many roles. It's been a great season 1. We're going to be back for season 2, probably, I would say, probably late Jan, early Feb. So we'll be taking a month or so off from the live streams. Sit back, relax. January, pretty cruisy month. And then February, we're into it. Dying Light 2, Horizon, Forbidden West, Elden Ring. You name it. Hopefully we can get on some of the guys from Horizon. Dying Light, we should be able to get on most of those guys. And Elden Ring. And then, you know, we've got Gotham Knights, the cast there. Suicide Squad, the cast over there. Modern Warfare 2, the sequel, should be coming out late next year. That's going to be fantastic. All those guys coming back. Captain Price and Barry and the crew over there. It's going to be an amazing year, guys. But thank you for the support. Thank you for 2021. It's been fantastic. I've had a great time. And I look forward to doing it again. I was looking at the stats. You know, the wrap-up. 8,300 minutes of live stream content. Can someone... how many hours is that? That's about 130 hours. That's pretty crazy. 130 hours of content. Fucking hell. That's unbelievable. For me, anyway. Because the year before, I wouldn't have even done 100 hours of live stream. So to go... wouldn't have even done 10 hours. So, no, that's amazing. Guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Golden Apples, Nickel, Rena, Garbett, Squad Up, Kisma, Terminator. 138 hours. Shit. Yeah, that's not a small feat. You think about that. That's an hour a day for 138 days. Well, technically I've had 80 guests, so that's 80 live streams there, pretty much. So, pretty crazy stuff, but it's been amazing. Thank you all. If you got any suggestions for people we want to see next year, just hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Dan Allen Gaming. If you're not already, follow me there and everywhere. I've got some more Halo videos coming out the next week, and then, you know, probably take some time, a little bit of time off, and then get straight back into it. So, I hope you all enjoy your Christmas. Get spoiled. I did pretty well. I actually ended up getting... I got this game. I hadn't played it much. I don't own the game, but now I got Metroid Dread. Definitely recommend. Definitely recommend you check it out. But no, I'm really appreciative, guys. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your New Year's. And I'll see you for season 2, guys. It's been a pleasure. Take care, guys.